What's up, all you kids? This is Daisy Collins of TsunamiRose.net, coming at you live from my craft room here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as I do Monday through Friday, bringing you junk journal content and new videos pretty much every single day. So if that's what you're into, please do subscribe. Give me a little thumbs up. Let me know that you care. Let me know that you had a good day. Hi, Beverly. Today what I'm doing, you guys, is I am working on my Christmas junk journal. I think I might get one more done. I don't know. It might not be done until after Christmas. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm going to work on this one here. I worked on the fabric cover the other day. I did that live. This took about, oh my God, like 2 hours to do. So that was its whole video. If you want to watch that, I can leave a link in the description box below and as a comment as well. But today what I'm going to do is actually make the chipboard base, and that's going to need to dry overnight. And then tomorrow we'll come back and start plans on how to cover it. Hi, BB. Almost done. And Beverly says I'm almost done with my design team journal. I'll be ready for the next one, probably next Friday or Monday. Everybody go ahead and follow Beverly at BV's Craft Plans. She makes cool projects. She is on my design team, so you can see her work with printables pretty often. Okay, so I am starting with a cereal box, 2 cereal boxes. One is a little bit larger than the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them the same size as pretty much my standard journal, which is this size right here. It is 8.5 tall. It is 5.5 wide. If I'm not mistaken, I will get my ruler just in case. Yeah, it is 5.5 wide and 8.5 tall. I always make my journals the same way. The spine depends on the size of the box. Sometimes I can, sometimes I'll make custom spines, but usually I'll just let the box determine the size of the spine. And this is going to be a hidden binding method of sorts. So let's go ahead and start. So the first I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bigger box. All I've done is pretty much flatten it out. I am using my Fiskars Precision rotary cutter. This is the best if you are working with chipboard or anything thicker than like cardstock. It is definitely a smooth ride the whole way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 8.5 tall. I'm going to cut it at 8.5 inches. Right there. And then I'm going to open this part up here. There's a spot where there's some glue. And let me make sure I got, where's my other sticky note? Where did they go? Okay, here it is. No, that's not it. Anyways. So this is now the cover. I'm going to make each side of the cover be 5.5. So from this point right here, I'm going to put this at 5.5, which this cutter, the only bad drawback about it is that the 5.5 specifically is at a weird spot. So, okay. I see where 5.5 is. It's actually here. And I like to work with the blade coming towards me. It's just much easier that way. So 5.5. Put it right here. So that's one side of the journal now. So the other side of the journal. At 5.5. And here is the basic cover. Now, what I like to do is I like to reinforce this chipboard with pieces that are almost the same size. They will be the same height, but the width will be slightly altered by 1/2 inch. So we're going to have this much of the original chipboard showing, and this will be 3 separate pieces. So this is also going to be a separate piece. So let's go on. Let's go on about that. We're going to make them the same height. So this will be 8.5 tall. Hey, Lori. Okay, so 8.5 tall. Let's see. Got your journal ready to go to the mail. Okay, so let's see here. For Lori. Forgive me, Lori has been the victim of COVID-19 because I haven't gotten her journal up to her. It's taken me a while to actually be in line at the post office. Okay, so this is going to be one of the sides here, and I'm going to make it slightly smaller by 1/2 inch. So instead of 5.5, it's going to be 5. Let's see, so no, it's going to be 5.25 because I want it to have the smallest little letter. So this will be like this right here, like that. Make sure they're the same height. Yeah, they're good. Even if they're slightly different, it's okay. Okay, so there's that side. Let's get to the other side. We're going to need the spine here. Let me see, how big does the spine need to be? Is it the same size as this book here? The spine, yeah, the spine will be okay being this size. So I'm just going to cut off the spine. Everything just has to be shorter than the cover. So you see this right here? That's perfect. It's going to have a little gutter on both sides, about 1/2 inch. I'm really tripping on the lip. Hang on. Tripping. No, I'm good. Okay. And then I need another one of these to be at 5.25. 5.25. We'll see how long this journal takes to do. Okay. So I got all my pieces now. Now what I want to do is I want to protect my surface a tiny bit. It is just a dollar store poster board that costs 50 cents. But I don't want to ruin it just yet. So what I'm going to do is I have this, for the next step, I have this stuff that is the back of the HeatnBond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to my workstation, to this poster board. And again, this is just so I don't mess it up too soon. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Okay. So the next step involves me using some sanding paper. And it doesn't really matter what kind of sanding paper you use. You just want to be nice and coarse, of course. Whatever this is, it's number 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and remove some of the paint that is on this chipboard. Ideally, the chipboard would be this color on both sides, or this type of unpainted chipboard, but we are recycling here for this junk journal. So I'm just going to go ahead and scratch the surface. This is just so our glue works properly when we start gluing stuff together. Gives it some surface for it to hold on to. Scratch that up. Okay, so I'm going to do that to all the pieces that are printed on. Just make sure you get it nice and scratched up. I guess I'm a little bit back over here now. 1 second. Okay. And I'm only scratching up the sides with the paint, with the printed side on it. It's nice. Make sure I scratch every corner. Okay. This is dollar store sandpaper, so I don't know how good it is. So I do go ahead and move the paper around and use different sides, different corners. I don't know exactly if there's like a better grit or something for this. This is just what I got in the pack at the dollar store. Do have another pack of sanding paper, but this is doing the job for the most part. Okay. Hello. God, this is live for me. Just stopped. Just say hi, give you a thumbs up. Thank you so much. You have a good night, girl. See you next time. Okay, I'll go ahead and move all that off my table. I could have done that different ways. So now here's the main cover. I'm gonna scratch all this up as well. Diana, see. I don't know why her name always wants to skip my brain. Every time I'm like, it starts at the end. That's kind of after. But good. Oh my goodness, my brain doesn't work. Okay, so let's scratch this off. It's okay if you kind of scratch up the edges, that's fine. That is just fine. Scratching it all up, all the edges, all the corners. Okay. There's that, right? Sorry, I'm like dusting them off. Get some tissue here to kind of wipe it off my table, because I don't need this dust for the next step. Okay. So the next step is to glue all this together, right? Right. So I'm going to glue the smaller parts into place here with the little gutter off here in towards the spine. So what I like to use with this is these face mask brushes. They are rubber or silicone or whatever face mask brushes that I bought on Amazon. And I will leave all the links down below to the things that I can. I'll leave my affiliate link. And also what I'm using is, Turbo Tacky glue. I love Turbo Tacky glue. And I pretty much use this as my almost exclusive, other than a good glue stick. It's one of my exclusive adhesives. And I use them for a lot of things, as embellishing and also making my cover. So it's like an all-purpose glue for me. The Turbo Tacky glue is the best one, the Turbo. I have a couple bottles cut at different nozzles because sometimes I need it for embellishment, so I need a nice fine tip. And other times I need it for this type of thing where I need a lot of glue on my project. So I will cut it down low as opposed to up high, so it has more of a point. And then I like to use my rubber silicone brush here to go ahead and spread the glue. You want to make sure and get glue all the way to the edge. All the way to the edge. Let's see. So I'm going to get glue everywhere. Oh my God, you got it. Oh, shit. Make a mess there. Okay, so.
It's dripping.
The ice cream is? Why? That's not what ice cream is supposed to do.
Here, can you get it out of my hands?
Yeah.
Just grabbed on a hold.
It's more condensation than it is ice cream.
I know the top came off, so.
Oh, goodness me. Sorry, got a little ice cream situation. Okay, so, okay. So now, it's okay if this gets a little bit messy. I'm going to attach this right on top of here.
Want me to put it in the freezer for you? Or?
No, could I just have this?
Yes.
Thank you. See, I thought they were the same height. It's okay, we'll fix that. I guess I made one slightly taller. Okay, bring it all the way to the edge. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna get this tool. Oops. I'm just gonna make sure that it has a nice strong bond together. And this technique will get your book to be, your final product to be literally the same thickness as a book. If you double it up with this, and then do the other stuff that I do also. Crafty Kitty, hi Crafty Kitty. Hello. Got a little bit of ice cream tonight. What a treat. Oops, there's ice cream. Not cool. Not on my craft table. Not cool, bro. One second. Ice cream disaster. I lied, it's not a treat. It's chaos now. Sorry, I was not expecting this, of course. Let me eat some. One moment. Sorry. So unprofessional, I know. So unprofessional. Oh my god. Terrible. It's terrible. I was progressing along nicely. Okay. Okay, so I was doing before the disaster that unfolded happened. Okay, good thing this is the bare bones of the truth. Okay, I had some glue under here, but it's fine. Okay, so now let's glue the other sides. Which I suppose they might all be too tall now, because they should all be the same. Okay. I'll have to fix that, so that's okay. That's an easy fix there. This bottle. I think I'm still stocked on glue though. I'll have to check. Glue is something I gotta stay on top of. You gotta have glue. You gots to have glue. Okay. I'm just trying to wipe this off. It's just literally toilet paper. I should have grabbed paper towels. Okay. So now I'm gonna add this to the spine. I'm just gonna make sure I put the tall side to the same side as the rest. Use my brayer here to make sure everything makes good contact. That looks good. Okay. Now we're going to do the other side. I don't recommend crafting and eating ice cream. Okay. massaging it in with that. Okay, let's get this part done over here. Need some on the edge also. Okay. This way, and let's spread this around. I used to use sponges, regular like paint brushes, and now I'm all about these silicone brushes. I love them. I love them so much. You can wipe off glue like that, you see, and put it where you actually need it to be, so it doesn't pool on you. All right, put too much glue on there. We have rescued it. Now we need a little bit more glue right here. Here on the edges. Okay. Let's get this glued down. And it is the difference between the inside of the cover and the outside of the cover is 1/2 inch right here. 1/2 inch in width. So let me go ahead and get some of this glue off this paper here. Oops. Should have taped down a little bit better. Okay. So let's get this making good contact here. Along all the edges, such and such. Okay. So here's our cover. I need to cut off just whatever size sliver this is. That needs to be cut off. But other than that, we're good. It's going to want to bow on you a little bit, just a tiny bit. So you do want to like handle it. Try and straighten it out as it dries. So this needs to dry completely. And I do like to leave it drying overnight. You spend a little bit of time making sure it makes good contact. Okay, so here, this is the bare bones of the journal right here, with a cereal box that's basically reinforced with another cereal box. So the next step is going to be getting the cover ready to go on the actual book cover once that is dry. So this way, let's get to the next step. I didn't even check if I had HeatnBond. Oh my god, I laugh because it's actually not funny. Do I have HeatnBond? Do I have HeatnBond? I'm not going to want to sew on the cover, so that makes it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to the store for the next step. I totally forgot. I'm looking around, and I don't have the HeatnBond that I need. So I'm going to cut the live slightly early because that is step one, is basically letting this dry so we can get it ready for the next step when we cover it. And I would normally show that process. Well, actually, it's the inside one I'm gonna have to sew in. I don't need to sew in the outside. So actually, change of plans again. We are gonna do it because it's just enough time that I have allotted that would fulfill that need for me. So I need to take this black mat off my table because I'm gonna need to iron, and that ruins this poster board. Now my cat is hollering. So give me 1 second. I should have done this before, but whatever. I just basically have it taped down to my table. So. Sorry. Okay. Oops, touched it. Okay, so here is my table. And what I'm gonna need, you just heard me throw that. So what I'm gonna need is my ironing board, which is just a padded ironing board for your desk. Or I guess whatever else. I'm gonna put it on my iron. And we are going to need to plug this in. Okay, we're plugged in. I'm gonna set this too high. And I'll put it off to the side. It can hurt nobody, especially me. And I'm going to use the HeatnBond that I do have left, which is HeatnBond UltraHold. So I'm sure there's different HeatnBonds, but the ones that I deal with are HeatnBond UltraHold and HeatnBond Light, which has the same logo, but it's in purple. Normally, I would use HeatnBond Light for the part that you need to sew on. So this inside jacket for this journal is what I need to sew on, because this part, aka this cover right here, is already sewn on. I don't need to sew on it. So this part I can show you tonight. This part with the jacket will have to come tomorrow because I need to go to the store. Because this side here, I'm going to actually sew here, and then I sew my signatures. I sew my signatures as well with my sewing machine. So I'll have to do this part tomorrow. Okay, so you guys, what I need to do is I need to cut. Actually, I need to cut this down. Let me get my I got my rotary cutting board. It's here. And I'm also going to need my rotary cutter, because we're going to have to cut this, both the fabric and the HeatnBond down. So let's use, what edge do I want to use here? I guess this part of the fabric is good. I'm gonna want at least an inch all the way around, so that way I can get the folded insides that I do. Are we good? Are we good? So I need about an inch around. Okay. Okay. You can even make it a little bit wider than an inch because we whittle it down a little bit. Oh, this has such nice measuring. I love it. I'm going to make it an 1.25 inches. Might be overkill, but that's just what I want to do. And I love it. All the way up. Okay. And I can move it this way so I can get an 1.25 inches over here too. Right there, like that. I love it. What type of camera do you use? I use a webcam, a Logitech. I think it's either C920 or 922. I have both of those. A C920 and a C922. Okay, so these will be used for something else. These are cute. Okay, so here's my cover piece that I have. And that is what's going to show up on the actual journal. And now I need to cut my HeatnBond to be this size as well. So, wow, that's the same thing I'm using with the handle. I love it, right? Isn't it great? I just got it not too long ago. And I was going to do a video on all my Amazon purchases. It's been one of the worth ones. I love it. Definitely helps. I used to do my journals very, very differently compared to when I started 2 years ago. When I started going live, I should say. Oh my God, did I say hi to Patricia? Oh my God. Okay. So. Let's get this done here. So I like to use the straight edges, of course, as much as I can. I need to cut the HeatnBond to be this size right here. Same size as all this. Definitely game changing with the handle. Definitely a game changer. Makes everything a lot easier to cut. And I love it. The ruler was definitely a splurge. I think the ruler was like $20, maybe $30 on its own. And then the handle, I think, was only like $8. Wow, that was a whistle. How did I whistle? I don't know. Okay. There we go. Got this done. Wow, that's not cool. I have a pokey tool, and it's like facing downwards on my cart. Not cool, but it's scratching me with it. Okay. So now that we got this cut down to size, to the color that you want, I'm still going to have to whittle it down probably. Oh my, what has happened? I have another pokey tool. Doing the same thing. I had noticed that's happening. Okay, getting poked and scratched by my tools. Cool. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to turn this fabric cover into a paper cover for our cereal box. Looks like something in suction cups to grip the plate so it won't move. Yes, that's what it is. Wait, I'm looking for my sticky notes. But they are not showing up and I don't know why. Let me see. Show all notes. I don't know why. How did it close my other notes? I have a link for it, which I'll link afterwards, I guess. So let me go ahead and glue this to this right here. And I want to put it right in place to where we just cut it. My iron should be nice and hot. And the important thing with this step is to let the iron lay on it so that it melts the adhesive. Don't move the iron around. Lay it down, pick it up, move it. Lay it down, pick it up, and move it. We want to melt that adhesive. And if you don't, then the adhesive piece is gonna like just glide all over the place and not actually stay in place. So that is just a thing. Leave it on one spot for about 15 seconds and then move because it'll also burn. That's actually a thing that will also happen. So again, I do go over the same spots for another 15 seconds. I have the iron set to the highest setting. That's on my iron anyways. This is just a regular household iron, nothing crazy or special about it. It's not like a special type of iron or anything. Just regular household. I've seen those fancy quilting irons. I didn't look at the price, but they look cool. They look like really cool irons. Okay, want to make sure that the edges especially are nice and have the adhesive glued melted. Okay, melt the edges. Now let's go for the last part here. I do it in sections. So that way I remember I can go back to this part because I started over here. Again, 15 seconds and pick up and move. They are, but the cost will. Lori, what are you talking about? The quilting irons. They look pretty sophisticated for irons, I will say that. They do look like really cool irons. Now, I have been wanting to try to see if I could cut a step, but I'm not really sure. I can't even do it today. So I'll have to try it in an experiment or something. But I want to see if I could glue this to the cover itself. Let me go ahead and I'm going to iron the back of this also. Got to make sure that in between the fabric here on the top is also doing good. Just adding some more heat there. Looks good to me. Okay. So now that that is done, what I'm gonna do is grab some packing paper. Grab that 1 second. Okay. So this is packing paper that I have procured from Walmart. You could also use tissue paper. But sometimes tissue paper will show up just like this, like you'll still be able to see the stitches. And so I use tissue paper because it's opaque and you will not be able to see through. So this, you won't be able to see this part right here. If you use tissue paper, it'll look exactly like this. So now that this is cooled down, I am going to take the backing off. So now it has put the glue. It's transferred some of the color to the stitches. Okay, right here. Hang on, right here. There's, I don't know if it didn't glue down right here or what's up. What's up? I don't know. Oops, that's got to cool down. Hang on one second. This part right here has to cool down before I pull it off. You don't want to pull this part off or the top. So you can wave it around and let it cool down. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. I have not made a journal cover like this in a while, but now I'm all hooked on it. Okay. That part is still hot, so let's make sure again it's cooled down. And just wave it around. Wait until it cools down just a little bit more than that. Thank you, Patricia. Give me a little thumbs up if you are having a good day today. Okay, so now you take it off. That part, for whatever reason, decided to stay on a little bit. What are you gonna do? Okay, so now we need to glue this whole thing, which is, you see that shiny part on my fabric? That is all adhesive. So what we need to do is we need to, it's basically a gigantic sticker now, and we want to glue it to this packing paper. And of course, I like to get it close to the edges. So that way I have less to cut. And now I went ahead and I adhered that a tiny bit. Nope, it didn't even melt. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to glue actually on the back of it. That'll make it easier, Daisy. Let's get our paper here on the edge. Doesn't really matter if it's crooked or not because we're going to cut it down anyways. And we are going to get our iron here and we're going to melt the glue. A lot easier to do from the back than through the fabric. So if you can see over here, you can see the stitches a tiny bit. But over here, when I've glued it down, you can see the stitches very, very clearly. That is because the adhesive has glued. And with this part right here, you actually don't have to lift up and move because it doesn't have that plastic backing. It's not going to actually move around on you. So at this point, you could move around melting the glue. And again, you can tell the parts that are glued down and which ones are not, because you'll be able to see the stitches through there. Or if you're just using fabric, you'll be able to see the fabric there. So let's work on this other side here. Leaving it on our spot, you do want to melt the glue. So you do need to kind of chill on one spot for a little bit. And of course, if it doesn't stay glued, you can tell it won't stay on the paper and you'll have to keep trying to glue down that side. So we're doing this so that way we can cover our journal, which is also made of paper, together. Miss Gigi, hi, good morning. Good morning to Miss Gigi. Okay. Again, we are still working here. I just want to make sure it is all nice and adhered, that the adhesive is all nice and melted. Like that. Okay, so let's check over here. Flip it around. So obviously if it wasn't glued down, it would not stay down. It would jump off the page. So as you can see, the glue is nice and melted. I gotta make sure. Okay, so now I can turn off my iron. And the next step is essentially to cut it out. And I normally would use my rotary cutter, but you know what? This is hot and I don't want to mess up my rotary cutter with my board. So I'm just going to cut it out by hand. And that is going to be the end of part 1 of my Pink Christmas cover. Because the next part, I have to allow my cover to dry for a while. If you touch it and it's cold, that means your glue is still wet. If you touch it and it's like room temperature, then you're good. So it is still cold, so I am not going to touch it for 24 hours or so. Till the next time I come back on live. I need to go to the store and I need to buy some HeatnBond light for the next step. I'm glad I was able to use up this stuff because I only had a little bit left of it. So I'm glad it got some use. But anyways, you guys, I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for stopping by to say hello. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you guys for the views and the comments. And I appreciate everybody's support in my shop. Of course, if you need junk journal printables or supplies, they are at my store at TsunamiRose.net. You guys, we are done for part 1. So tomorrow we will come back. We will adhere this cover, which again we've made it to paper. We're gonna adhere this to this cover right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and whittle it down just a little bit more because I do like to overkill it so that way I can whittle it down to a good size. I'd rather have it too large than too small and have to do it again. So thank you guys so much for watching part 1 and come back tomorrow for part 2. And come back if you want to keep on watching this Pink Christmas junk journal come together, you guys. I appreciate your company. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I will catch you guys real soon, okay? Bye. And hi, Chris. If I didn't see you earlier, if you're just saying hi, hi. Bye.